Okay, so not too long ago, I got to be part of a challenge with a little crew to make a shot or a scene, if you will, using Booklight. You didn't only have to use it, you could use some fill and some backlight here and there, but the main goal was you had to use booklighting as a technique within the shot. So today I kind of wanted to walk through and show you guys what we ended up creating and how we did it, if we liked it, if we didn't like it, what went wrong, what went right maybe, and then hopefully along this way you guys can understand what booklighting is and implement it into your projects as well. Okay, before we go too deep into what we created, I wanted to just explain what booklighting was if you don't know yet or maybe need a refresher. But real quick, we have a character right here. He's an awesome little guy, circle and a triangle. Always works for storyboarding. And then you have a main light source, usually pointed into a bounce of some sort. Right here, we could just say it is a white floppy ultra bounce. This light is then bounced, get the name, into usually a type of diffusion that would create a nice big spill of light coming onto our character here, but really softening the whole thing up. It's almost like a double diffusion, right? We have light shooting and bouncing in, which kind of softens it already, and then we have a super soft kick through the diffusion. Sort of taking that simple diagram and moving it into what we ended up shooting. It was a little bit more advanced possibly. We had two characters, so one here and one here, and the idea was to have this sort of half dolly track in a C kind of go around while they're a smiley face while they're talking through their dialogue. Problem with this is we needed to use a booklight, but we needed it to be consistent for both of them all the way through, especially when we were landing on over the shoulders on both sides. So the idea was to kind of cove our booklighting setups. So we have one HMI right here and here. These are both RE 1600s, and they were shooting across from each other. This was to help bounce light at a more directed area. So they both are bouncing into 6x ultra bounce frames, and this pushes light inward towards our opposite characters through a 6x of diffusion. I don't remember which type of diffusion this was, but it was diffusion. So overall, the goal was to have pretty simple it's kind of dark out right now, but the goal was to have pretty simple lighting that was super soft all the way through. We also had some tube lights with practicals in the back as well behind that, and then a little 200 just to help give us some backlight on both characters so we don't lose them in the background. This was all filmed in a black box studio. Okay, so sort of taking all of that overhead and what a booklight looks like, we have our final product, and I gotta say I'm actually very happy with how this turned out. I think it looks pretty cool and very interesting. The background definitely helps a lot. Sort of talking through it, we have character 1 on the left and character 2 on the right. Both their skin tones looks very well evenly lit across the board. I will say off the jump, you guys probably noticed as well, is our backlight tubes over here, and then we have a little HMI 200 boosting light as a backlight on her, and these tube lights are kind of backlighting him just enough to kind of break his head from the black background. But I do think this HMI was a little hot across the board, across all the shots, and we really see it a lot here, and I think it kind of ruins the booklighting look with this harsh light on the back of her arm. We as well see some roll off from that on his cheek, and I kind of wish we turned down the aggressiveness of that a little bit. I do like how the tubes play onto the C-stands in the back, as well as this scissor lift. I think that looks really cool. Another angle even over the shoulder looking towards character 1, and I think you can really see how just nice and soft and evenly lit her skin is across the board here in the front of her face. Obviously we have some harsher light on her cheeks right here. This is from the tube lights coming in and spilling onto her, as well as this backlight right here pushing in really harshly again. I think it looks a little too hot on her hair. Definitely separates from the background enough, and we get a nice little play on her shoulder, I think, which looks good. Especially down here, like just this little bit of light adds a lot of texture to this whole sort of look. We see a lot of that HMI coming in on his face right here though in this shot. I'm not too excited about that. It definitely adds a lot of depth, but would have liked that to be a different look. Now the reverse of this is the other over shoulder. I think she looks really lit very well in this. Obviously very harsh light on her back. We can see her skin tones getting closely to overexposed. We kind of see the break here where this super light skin to shadow to then to back to light. It would have been nice to have this still more even like the front of her. But we see these tubes coming in again across the wall, as well as the practicals back there, and then really harsh on his face. A little bright, I think, or possibly if we just dab his face with a towel or some makeup wipes, that would have kind of helped that shine a little bit. And then you guys might be noticing in this shot as well, we get some heat along his cheek in this shot, and I think that's because our whole system of book lighting was actually really close to the characters. We didn't have a lot of space and depth to move him back, and I really wish we could have moved this whole system backwards to be a little less hot on his face, and you can see it on the arms as well. A little more evenness. Last shot here, this is just a solo. I actually love this shot. It looks really good in my opinion. Obviously it's framed up really nice on the thirds. Her eyes kind of land right there perfectly, and we get nice gleam, little dots in her eyes. I love this little scissor lift kind of shining in the back. I'm actually not minding as much the kind of HMI cooking her hair back here. It could be a little dimmed down, I'd agree. Maybe put some scrims in front of it or something like that. That would have really helped. It's a little hot on her shoulder. I don't think we're losing any information, but it's close. Overall, very happy with this look. A little hot of a backlight, but besides that, the book lighting worked really well for the characters. Evenly lit them for the most part. I think if we had more space, like I was saying, that would have really helped this whole thing. But I want to show you guys off what we actually captured and just the little bit of video we have from this scene. Let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah, so awesome. Again, nothing crazy. It's just a couple of us practicing our lighting skills and different techniques and expressing different ideas and kind of pushing the boundaries of book lighting. And I really just wanted to sit here and encourage you guys to take the time to practice different setups with your friends or your crew or whoever it might be, because I think it's really important to learn what does work and what doesn't work. And even just me going back and looking at these shots really helps me understand, okay, well, we could do this differently next time. And so you really just get to understand what you did wrong, or hopefully you look back at your stuff and it looks amazing and you can see like, okay, well, this turned out great because, oh, this light here and this light here. And you just get a better understanding as a DP of what really works. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and taking the time out of your day. Hope you guys got a little something from this. And yeah. Book lighting.